Good Sunday morning. Hit the like button as you come in. Say good morning. Let's have some good old fashioned, what is it? I want to use, uh, dang, hospitality. Say good morning. If you don't want to say good morning, that's cool too. Well, good Sunday morning to you. Thank you for hitting that like button, whoever that is. Thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. YouTube has been not too kind, and so basically, I don't know if I have no notifications at all, but it's okay. It is okay. Oh man, say what? Good Sunday morning, y'all. It's a say what kind of morning. Beautiful morning. Went outside early this morning. It was one of those mornings where it was not oppressive heat. Normally, sometime around 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, you walk outside and the heat is already unbearable. So when I went out this morning to walk Kobe, it was pleasant, not hot, not that unbearable early morning heat. I'm not sure what the day looks like, but yeah, we had some big storms last night. It must have stormed for a couple hours last night, and I mean huge thunder, lightning, torrential rain, all the craziness last night. And this morning was kind of not too bad. Can't wait for fall, y'all. I'm ready for summer to be over. I'm ready for the heat and everything that has to go with this summer to go away. Good morning. How are you? Come down, say good morning if you want. Let me know that you're here so I won't think my chat is frozen. Um, man. So, yeah, so it's not a bad morning, y'all. Got up, took care of some business, and like I said, walked my puppy, made some breakfast this morning. I had a bagel with eggs and sausage, so I made a bagel. Um, and of course, my cup of coffee. And so now, yeah, getting ready for work tomorrow. And I decided I am going to, I had all the makings for the paella. I'm like, I got everything here. So I think I am going to make that paella, y'all. I got everything that I need. I'm going to use the cod. I went and got a piece of cod because I had one with salmon before. And I'm going to use the yellow rice. You can use Spanish rice or you can use the yellow rice because it already have the saffron base. I'm about to get make my broth from scratch. I'm going to take the shrimp that I have and take the shells off and then sit the shells in some water and build my own seafood broth. I'm gonna use the broth from the crab, whatever seafood I have. I'm gonna use the broth from it and build my own seafood broth instead of going out there and buying it. Because normally, even when I make my shrimp and grits, I make my own seafood broth. So yeah, so that's what I am doing. I'm not sure who's in the audience today. I know some of you guys sit up in the rafters or in the sky boxes, and you kind of support me from there. But yeah, that's my plan for today so far. So yeah, yeah. I have some broth. No, I think I'm gonna make the rest of that asparagus that I have in there. I don't want my asparagus to go bad. Y'all know, and so far it's still holding up. So I'm gonna roast some asparagus and make the paella. However, y'all know probably not pronouncing it right, but now by now you know what I'm talking about. So far so good. I've been catching up on some of the TV shows, watching Atlanta Housewives. Man, oh man, that is a mess. So You guys got an opportunity to watch that as well. Also, getting ready for the 27th, y'all. The 27th in 3 days, right? No, it's the 20 in 4 days, right? Because the 25th is Tuesday. So Thursday, we got the drop of the third season of Beauty in Black, or Black Beauty in Black. So the third season drops 3 o'clock in the morning, August 27th. But we have a watch. Uh, um, what do we call it? Um, we're going to have a watch party, and you guys still invited. I'm going to be on if anybody choose to drop in or not. I'll be with my live on, and people are welcome to drop in for the watch party. I'll repost the time and everything as well. But it's going to be awesome. I'm hoping people, you know, come in. If not, it'll be what it is. Um, it is what it is. Um, but yeah, early Sunday morning. Yeah, so that's what's going on there, guys. And I stated I was watching the what is it called? Atlanta Housewives. I'll talk more about that later. Say what, man, y'all. I don't know what's going on. I don't even know if it's true or not. But allegedly, this is by another content creator stating the FBI may be involved somehow, somewhere. And just to say, and most of you guys probably always heard this: if the FBI makes contact with you or anybody else, they already know what they know. Basically, anytime the FBI gets involved and they're coming to question, investigate, they've already got the information, what they're looking for. They've already somewhat building a case. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know. Allegedly, things have been said around. I've heard from one content creator listening in that the FBI may be somehow involved in this sector with another content creator. I don't know if it's true or not, but I do know this. Anytime the FBI gets involved and they come make contact with you, either as a witness or a suspect, they already have some knowledge of what they're looking for, what they're doing. They've already either established a case, have already got some sense of a case. They're not going to reach out unless they've already done some investigation. I don't know if that's true or not. It's allegedly, and it concerns me because if they're making contact, that means they have to be watching multiple people. Probably, I don't know. They're probably watching multiple people. This because it's not going to be just one. They're watching. If they're concerned about a channel or what's going on, they're probably going to even watch the contacts. What's being said? Who's being said to? Hell, they could be watching any one of us at this point in time. Any one of us could be a problem with in this sector. Any one of content creator. That doesn't mean it has to be with one. If they look at this sector as a whole, and the subscribers who I don't know, they can identify. They can also subpoena YouTube and IP addresses and names and stuff. I'm just saying, if they have to, they can. And I would be wary if I was a content creator. I would be very wary about what the FBI is doing if they're paying attention to anybody in this sector, even myself. Um, I would be concerned. Why? I don't know. Contact. No, even though it was never personal contact, interaction, things that were said. Did they look at my channel? Did they look at your channel? Did they look at anybody else's channel? It just doesn't stop with one situation. If they're going to build a case, they're going to build a case. right? If they're going to build a case, it could be any type of contact. Well, did they look at my channel? Did they look at your channel? Good morning, Justice in chat. Hey, grateful too. So, if this is really true, I would definitely, because if they're looking at one channel, they're looking at the sector. They might be looking at multiple channels or how the what people are saying and doing. Is there any concern about any other contacts, any other content creators doing or saying things in this channel? You have to be careful. Good morning, Denise Pratt. So I would be concerned about what you're doing on this channel if this is true. If this is true, like I said, the underlining threats, uh, the things that have been said or done on this channel, if it finally got the attention of the FBI and people are talking and they are investigating, pretty much, you know, pretty much, I would be concerned because more than likely, once they start reaching out to people, they already had their investigation going. They've been watching for a minute. Once they start reaching out, you can bet your bottom dollar, they've been watching. They've been monitoring. Don't take it lightly. If they reach out to anybody, they've already started their investigation. They've already been looking. They've already been watching. And and most of you guys know that. But anytime the FBI contact you, they already got a case. Not saying that you're guilty. Not saying, because like everybody's innocent to proven guilty. But they're more likely trying to build a case or trying to get answers to try to whatever information they have. They just now trying to reach out or whatever and complete the case. So if it's true, don't know if it's true or not, don't know the extent of who's a suspect, who's a victim, who is what, but I would definitely be very concerned and I would be very smart and be careful in what you're saying in this sector, making threats, underlining things that can be perceived as threats. Be careful because apparently, if it's true, then you know who knows who they're watching now or what they're doing now or who have they been watching. I'm late, but that's good advice about people being careful about what they say on any social media. That is correct on any social media platform, but particularly in this sector that I'm in, where people are making underlying threats, where people are trying to intimidate, or trying to and not only intimidate, but what's the word I want to use? Uh, not only intimidate, not only, but what's the word I want to use, y'all? And it's the words right there when people you trying to encourage or get other people to maybe do something or leading people to believe. Once when we talk about threats, understanding that when a threat is made, it's the victim's perception of what it is, right? Even though if a threat is made, it's always going to be the victim's perception, right? If they perceive it as a threat, you know, I don't, but the encouraging, the underlining, the underhanded threats, it's been going on for years. This is not the first time I've heard threats. This is not the first time I've heard people encouraging people to do harm to each other. This is not the first time, and it probably won't be the last time. But if we now have the attention of the FBI, as probably allegedly so, I would be very careful. If the FBI is paying attention to this sector, and I don't know if it's true or not, then I would encourage you. in this sector to be very careful of what you're saying. You may get lucky, you may not. I wouldn't be so bold if I know allegedly that if it's looking at one content creator and we all somehow have some type of connection, some kind of way, I would be concerned. I would be concerned to a point where I wouldn't be in fear, but I would be watching how I do and what I say and how I say it. And it's not saying somebody, oh, no, common sense. Common sense. Good morning, Denise. Good morning, Grateful too. But again, everything is allegedly. Everything is not, like I said, I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just giving my response to what I heard. And if it's true, I don't know if it's victim or witness or what. Blessings, Nikki Howard, how are you? Good Sunday morning to you. I don't know. I don't know if it's witness type situation, victim, perpetrator. I don't know what the approach is in this particular situation. But the behavior here in this sector has gotten worse. It's gotten to a point where, people are doubling down and and making, feeling free to, understand this is federal. Understand whatever is said on this internet when it comes to threats, it becomes a federal case. That's why you can make complaints to the FBI. Because why? Social media platform. It's the wire, it's the internet. Okay? Any crimes committed on this internet is federal. When it comes to making threats, when it comes to harassment, it can be at a federal level. Harassment, cyberbullying, this is federal level. Okay? It is. It is exactly what it is. You're not messing with the state. You can, you at some point can go within the state, but more likely it's going to be federal. So when you're threatening to cross state lines to do bodily harm or to intimidate, threatening to go to people's places where they live, threatening to, it's just crazy, y'all. At some point, and when you are participating, not only the content creators, but supporters. Again, you supporting a channel as a subscriber or as any type of support that you may be providing, and you're into this situation where you're underhandedly making threats or encouraging, you're not. You can be held accountable as well. You can be held as accountable as well. You can be adding to it. Okay, you could be adding to it. So you're not just because you're a supporter or a subscriber, you're not, and you're engaging and you're putting your input in and to encouraging it or wanting to be a part of it. You're part of it. You're a part of it. So, again, like I said, if this is the case, if the FBI is involved, then they're watching this sector. If this has anything to do with the internet, if this has anything to do with what's being said or done on this internet, then I promise you, the dots are going to be connected, or will be connected, or have been connected. I don't know if it's true. If it's true. Like I said, don't know. Everything is allegedly. But that's where we are, y'all. I mean, if we got to the point now that we definitely are, most of them, if we to the point now that we actually may have the attention of the FBI for whomever reason, whatever reason, and it has anything to do with what people are doing in this sector, be concerned. If it has anything to do with any content creator or anybody doing anything within this sector to impact somebody's life, identity. We talk about the doxing. We talked about people doxing people, people using doxing to harass, intimidate, um, to cause harm, doxing people to cause bodily harm to somebody else, giving out information so people can be harmed or hurt. That is to a different. That is a whole level, and it's not the first time. I'm saying it is not the first time. It's been done in years before. It has been done by other content creators. It has been done where doxing and telling people to go out, hurt, harm, or cause anything, or leading or encouraging people. So it's not the first time. So I don't. People come out and say, "Well, justice." Hey, Nikki. Hey, Nikki Howard. How are you? I see your blessings. Um, it's just about time. It's it's definitely been something that has been happening over the past few years. Uh, so it's not the first time. We've heard threats before. We've heard uh, people encouraging people to do things or wanting to intimidate or, it's not the first time. But at some point, you know, what is it going to take? What is it going to take for people to actually, you can get away with a lot of things for a long time. A lot of times, people have gotten away with crimes for years. And sometimes they, like I said, there was a drug dealer that dealt drugs in my community for years. Years. And nobody never touched him until he was in his 60s. Or maybe 70s. He's probably in his 70s when they finally laid hands on him. But he was doing it for over doggone 50 something years or so. Everybody knew who he was, but when they finally touched him, he was an old man. And sometimes that happened. You get away with things and everybody know about it, but everybody like, why this person never got touched? Why this person never always get away with things? They've been watching P. Diddy for 15 years before they made contact with him. Remember, they watched P. Diddy. They've been watching him for 15 years, building a case with, when they reached out to him, they already had their case done. They already had everything where they knew where to go look. They knew how to look for it. They knew what the computers were. They knew what every step was going to be. They knew where his planes were going to be landing. They knew everything when they touched him. When they were ready for him, that's when they touched him. When their case was solid, when they had all the evidence in place, they had all the witnesses in place. When the FBI had their case in place, that's when they touched out him. Same thing with that man, the one that Jeffrey. They watch for years, and once they get a case, and once they're solid, that's when they're going to probably reach out to you. So, sometimes you play the game too long, and but I really do think that to the heat of the moment, something needs to cool down this situation in this sector. If something needs to cool down, because eventually it's building up to a point where people actually feel that they have to hurt each other to end whatever's going on. It has to come to a point where somebody needs to step in and just kind of cool it down a little bit. because it's just getting out of control. And before somebody actually lose their life based on some foolishness that really, if you look at it, if you really sit back and look at why you're willing to risk your life, freedom, look at the content of it all and ask yourself, what is it to gain? What is it to gain in the end, at the end of all of this? What is the end game at the end of it? What is the end game? Once you've done it all, and you to the point where you don't want to see this person on this earth anymore, what's the end game? Nikki Howard, there's so much evilness. It is a lot of evilness in the end, Nikki, because the hate and the hurt is so blind right now that in the end, I mean, the hurt, the pain, and the is so blinding right now that that state of mind that people may be in, that's where people cross lines. That's where people cross lines because they're not able to bring that situation in. What is it? What is it now that wants you at this point to cause somebody bodily harm? What is it at this point? Stop for a minute and ask yourself, what has this person done to you that wants you to cause bodily harm? And then check what is your part in it? What part did you play in it as well? What part have you played in it that brought you to this state of mind and that brought this other person to this state of mind? Look at the parts that you each play in this. What parts have you played that brought you to this point of state of mind? Hey, Fee, for real, what's up? Hey, Fee, what's going on? What part have you played in this whole situation? If I can look back on the parts I played and say, well, you know what, I played a significant part in a lot of situations, my part I played, the things, I can look back and recognize I played a significant parts in a lot of things. But if you're going blindly and think that you're just not played any part in it, that you have no part in it at all, that you're just a victim of it all, that is crazy in my opinion. And this, like I said, my opinion. If you're not able to sit back and say, how did I get here? How did we get here? What part have I played? How did it was, whether you initiated it, whether you once however it got initiated, once you start to play a part in it, it does not matter. It's going to look at the whole picture. Okay, they initiated it, but then I became a part of it, and then I start engaging, and then we take it from there. But you cannot look at it and say you're a victim of it all. I can never say I'm a victim. I can say, you know who I can call a victim? People that were not on here. The people that they never had a platform. never said a word, never done anything to anybody, never seen them, never heard them. Those are the victims. The family members, the children that have nothing, those are the only true victims. Otherwise, mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. You have to acknowledge, yeah, we have to acknowledge the parts that you play and how you get to certain places in here. Because if everybody, if you look at it, if you're not able to see your part and how you play your part in this whole situation, the story is going to be told. The documents are there. You have digital documents out the yang yang. And I'm pretty sure if anything goes to court, YouTube didn't delete anything. The content creators, y'all deleted it. I deleted things. Content creators deleted things. YouTube didn't. They got everything you ever did. Just in case times like this, if people have to go to court, YouTube has it. They never deleted anything. They never deleted it. And all you have to do is subpoena YouTube. That's it. That is it, and that is all. So nobody can sit up here and say, well, I can't, what I did or what you did, I did this. No. In the end, when it all comes down to it, if this stuff ever gets in somebody's court, everything you have ever done is documented. Everything I've ever done is documented. Okay? It does not just evaporate into YouTube air. YouTube puts it in a nice little file, just like they said. They're not gonna, YouTube ain't worried about you. YouTube just says, hey, when y'all wanna come get it, come get it. We ain't gonna stop you from being a fool out here. We're not gonna stop you. Freedom of speech. You're right. You got freedom of speech. YouTube is a billion-dollar platform, multi-billion-dollar platform. They're not sitting up here playing. YouTube making money off the foolishness. And as long they know when to copyright things, they got all the other things, tools for copyright. But all the other foolishness, YouTube said, have at it. Y'all deal with it in the court. Y'all deal with it. We know exactly. We got multiple attorneys. We got attorneys out the yang yang. See, while y'all got one attorney, YouTube got a host of attorneys all over the world. YouTube has attorneys all over the world. Okay, all over the world. All right, they got attorney. They'll keep you tied. You try to sue YouTube, they'll keep them tied up for years. Okay, they'll keep you tied up for years. They're not worried about content creators like us. They'll let us go at it until hell, you know, until we get in situations like this. Okay, YouTube do not care. They're making billions of dollars every year for anything. As long as you're not out here doing certain things and they can move quickly on certain things, that's fine. YouTube said, we gave you a button. We gave you a button, multiple different types. We gave you buttons to cut content, comments off from people. We gave you all kind of buttons to be able to deal with certain situations. Okay? You know, because they look at us as adults. We are adults. We should be able to govern ourselves and our behavior. That's how YouTube look at it. At some point in time, if we call ourselves reasonable adults, they look at us to govern our behavior. They shouldn't have to govern our behavior as adults. They need to protect the kids. They need to do more, in my opinion, YouTube definitely needs to do more to protect kids, youth. They definitely need to do more when people are out here attacking young people, little kids. They need to do more about that. That's in my honest opinion. They need to do more about that. But again, they leave it for us to govern our own behavior. And we should be able to govern our behavior out here. What's up, Bonnie Mitchell? But then again, drama sells. Is it, just because it sells, it doesn't make it right? No. But we know drama sells. We know where everybody is going to go. We can talk about anything in the world. We can talk about, but we know where the numbers are going to go. Okay? We know where, in this particular sector, we know where the numbers are going to go. I can come out here and talk about anything, but if I engage in drama, bam. But if I come out here and do something completely just, you know, talk about breathing techniques, I can talk about food and alcohol and drinks. It'll bring some numbers. I have my people that my people. I have the supporters that like the content, and I'm appreciative of them. But I know where the numbers are. Right? Numbers don't lie. But this too shall pass. YouTube is singing big money, big money. Hey, but it swings. Nikki Howard, it swings, and it's going to pass. But what will it take? What will it take? Because when you get comfortable in certain behaviors because nothing has happened, this is when people get, as they would call it, get caught lacking. When the behavior is reinforced with money, with applause, and the behavior is reinforced. Negative behavior on this channel, and we're going to say it, negative behavior is reinforced with money and accolades and subscriptions, okay? It's reinforced. And it's like Pablo's dog. It gets worse, right? If you ever thought you or the monkey or whatever, or the rat, the cheese, you reinforce negative behavior and you're rewarded with it. You get rewarded here in this sector for behaviors. Um, it's you may get more money, more subscribers, more applause, more gifts. You get it's what it is, right? Of course, I know because I was a recipient. As long as I was in the negative behavior, uh, saying negative things, and my channel was a little bit of each. I'm gonna be honest. My channel wasn't always completely what it was, everything. So yes, my numbers came from me being embroiled in a lot of the drama, right? I can say that, right? My numbers came, my numbers came from me being embroiled for years and years with the drama that was here, right? That's where my numbers came from. In the minute I decided to, move away from it, let it move on, not get back in the back and forth, let it move, let it go, and I have my numbers, boom, went in the opposite direction, which I'm good with it. I am good. But I can be honest, that's where it came from. Most of it came, the majority of my, majority of my support at the time, the numbers and what came from that. It came from me engaging. As soon as I put something in my thing that says somebody's name or something that will draw, bam, shoot up. Right now, I have 30 people in here, right? Thank you guys for coming. Hey, Chris, I appreciate you guys. Thank y'all. But I guarantee you, I guarantee you, if I put something else in here, boom, fly up. Don't need it to happen anymore. Don't want it. Don't have to happen. But that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. And that's the honest part about it. That's the honest part about it. And you can see it. But there's a price. There's a piper to play. You got to pay the piper in the end. Always a price to play in the end. Okay? It's always a certain price to pay in the end. All right? Um, and I'll say it again, and it may just be. It don't have to be something that is so. The price that you may pay in the end don't have to be in such an impact that you see it immediately. Okay, you don't have to see it or feel it immediately, but somewhere down the line, it can. It does show itself. It does make a. It reveals itself somehow, somewhere down the line. So uh, I would just say be careful. Be careful. Be careful. What's up, Chris? Hey, Justice, happy Sunday. Hey, Chris. But again, like I said, um, I don't know if this is true, but if the FBI is in this sector, or if somebody have called and reported or done something, I don't know, allegedly by one of the content creators. The FBI has been involved with another content creator. I don't know if it's true, but I am saying this just based on responding to what I heard. Once the FBI makes contact, more than likely they've been observing, they've been watching, or they have already started. They have started an investigation, and once they have had substantial information to make, then it's not going to impact you, come to you, or anybody without making something, having something to make the investigation worth their time. The federal government is not coming unless it's worth their time, okay? It has to have been something that got their attention, that they looked into, they've been watching, okay? It has to have been something. Go watch Marjorie's go watch Marjorie's last content um, fee, because that's, go watch it. I don't know if it's true or not. Go watch her last post, because I don't know if it's true or not. I'm saying if it is true, I don't know if it's what may have led up to it, but trust me, if they are involved, they already have enough information to get their attention and to get them involved. FBI is not coming unless they have something that they can bite into, and the investigation is worthwhile investigating. They're not coming. They're not coming unless they have something uh, worthwhile looking into. Whether you're a witness, a suspect, perpetrator, suspect, or victim, they're not coming. They're not coming. People would have to be completely foolish to think that Big Brother isn't always watching. You cannot just say everything you want to say. Well, at least you shouldn't, but to each their own. Most definitely, Chris Ashley. It's definitely, once you get their attention, and once they watch, right? But once something has happened, and it has to be elevated to a federal type situation, they're not getting involved unless it reaches a federal type crime or law. Okay, they're not coming for state, they're not coming for local. It has to have elevated to something where the federal government, the feds, feel that they can get involved. They're not coming for state stuff. Let me let you know right now. They're not coming for state laws. They're not coming for local laws. They're not coming for ordinance. They're coming for something that has reached or elevated to the point that the federal, the FBI, has jurisdiction. They're not coming for state jurisdiction. They're not coming for local. It has to reach federal jurisdiction, laws, or whatever it may be. They're not coming for anything else. They're not coming to talk about state laws. They're not coming to talk about, it has to have reached something that requires the feds to have jurisdiction in. Okay? That's just it. The big dog, yeah. Hey, truth giving. So that's what's going on. That's the only way you're going to get the FBI if they have jurisdiction through the investigation or whatever it may be. But they ain't coming for nothing else but that. They're not coming for. They're not coming to play. They're not coming to talk about, oh, you ran a red light or stop sign. Okay, they coming to investigate or get information on anything to deal with this internet. And let me tell you, if it has anything to do with this internet, it's going to involve. If it has anything to do with social media, okay, it's going to be involved in cyberbullying, harassing, identity theft. It's going to be something within that level. Okay? ID fraud. It's going to be something at a law level, a level that involves cyberbullying, harassment, threats, intimidation, ID, not just doxing, not just doxing. Doxing is not just doxing, y'all. Doxing's not gonna be it. It's gonna be the use of that information. Is what you did with that information that you doxed. Are you using that information to intimidate, harass, cyberbully, obtain funds, or do something, wire-wise with that information? It has to reach a federal level before they get involved at all costs. And we know the internet. Cyber crimes are reported to the FBI. Okay? Cyberbullying, harassment. You can report to your local law enforcement, but you can also report to the FBI. And if they find enough, if they found by if they have looked and they found enough to warrant a visit or a discussion, they're only coming when they got the information. They're only going to get involved when there's substantial information, substantial evidence to support them coming out to talk to you about something. Okay? All right. So that's just clear. And like I said, I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's a victim, if it's a suspect, if it's just a witness. And look, we got a lot of witnesses out here. You guys sitting up here in that audience thinking y'all might be clear certain things. If things ever go down, you guys might be just involved. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Everybody think they can hide behind these fake names and stuff. And no, it ain't no hiding. Ain't no hiding. Trust me, there is no hiding. You can change your name once they get involved. Ain't no hiding, okay? You ain't gonna hide. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Hey, Chris says truth giving. I believe that there's someone that is under watch by the feds. It could be not only one. It could be multiple. It could be past stuff. I mean, It don't even have to be just one person. They might go back and look at multiple content creators, even myself. They can go back and look at things that have transpired. If this sector has got the attention of the FBI, trust me, it won't just be one person. They can look at this whole thing and see what the heck's been going on. You know, I mean, I'm just gonna be real. You know, they can look at my channel. They gonna go to YouTube and subpoena YouTube, but so YouTube has to notify us first of all, y'all. Now let's be clear. If anybody is subpoenaing you, your YouTube channel, YouTube is going to notify you. Okay, YouTube is going to give you notification that your channel is being subpoenaed. Okay, trust me on that. YouTube is not going to leave you in surprise. If you're going to be contacted by YouTube, if somebody, they have in their bylaws and whatever they wrote, they already told you if somebody subpoenas you and wants information from your channel, they have they're going to notify you. I don't know how they're going to, how long they take to do it, but YouTube is going to notify you if somebody has going to subpoena your channel and bringing uh, um, that lady said that she's been reporting Medea for cyberbullying, harassment, and stalking for months. Why they popped up in her house, don't know how true it is. I don't know anything. Like I said, and YouTube could be held liable in some cases as well, in my opinion. Yeah, YouTube can be held liable, but they they got so many things set up in when you sign up for YouTube, they got so many things that give them because you actually are independent. When you're a content creator and you're monetized, you actually are responsible for your channel as in you are independent. YouTube has things to protect them. They first of all, the first thing they're gonna talk about is First Amendment. Then they're gonna talk about you as an independent employee, independent. You're your own boss. You're your own boss. But you know what? I don't know, y'all. Like I said, I don't know if any of this is allegedly true or not. I heard the same thing that Truth Giving just said. Um, but again, it's will it only be that content creator? Will it only be that content creator? Because once they open and people start talking, will they look at other content creators? You know, will this thing be something bigger? If it's real, will it only be one content creator? Right? Will it only be one content creator? Hey, Saret, how you doing? Will it only be one content creator? Once they start digging even further, maybe this is the first contact. If it's real, maybe this is the first contact. Maybe it has nothing to do with YouTube. Maybe it has something to do with something else, you know? But I'm saying if it is something with YouTube in this sector, will it be the only contact? You know, will they be the only one they're contacting? Will it lead to other people content? Or will it lead to nothing? But I don't think the federal, if the FBI is involved, they're not getting involved unless they found something, unless they have something that's definitely significant for them to get involved. They're not going to get involved unless they found something significant enough for them to get involved, whether it be ID fraud, cyberbullying. They're not going to get involved unless it's worth something um, worthwhile. That's just it. Medea, and that's Medea don't dox herself through her glasses, and people are sending clips and dancing, jumping, walking to the job. But you know, truth giving again. Like I said, I heard the same thing. Um, I heard the same thing, and like I said, I can't substantiate any of that. I heard what you heard, the same thing as well. And like I said, I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just like I said, it's it's content. You know, the whole sector should be concerned. Not the whole sector, because everybody's not involved with this, but content creators that have done the doxing and the threats and the again cyberbullying. Uh, I don't know. I just don't know the extent of it. Again, just talking. I don't know the extent, and I don't know if it's true or not. Right? I don't know. I don't know the extent of it. You know, just I heard it, heard the same thing, and again, you know, uh, I just don't know how far it's going to go. If it's going anywhere, it might not just go anywhere. It might just be, hey, we just want to talk and see what's going on, and you know, I don't know who they going to reach out to. They might reach out to more people. They might just start one way and then, okay, anybody else involved? Anybody else? Well, they might talk to a few people if anything's actually happening, because there is a lot of cyberbullying and harassment in this sector. Yeah, it is. Um, and I just don't know. But yeah, Chris, yeah, that's what's happening. This is, I well, she has threatened them girls several times to unalive one of them, and people don't take threats lightly. So they might be clear the way the world is going now, Justice. So let's be clear the way the world is going now. I hear what you're saying. I've heard it. I heard it myself. I've heard threats to the girls. I've heard threats. From the past. I will be very clear. Uh, when I say things, that ain't the first time we heard people making threats and wanting to come to people's home, and unfortunately, certain things certain things won't be can't be held anymore. But yeah, and this may be something that will finally stop these threats. You can have content, you can go back and forth, but when you start to threaten people to come to their homes, to come to their city, to come to their house, to do this, to intimidate, to come to their schools, and this is not the first time. It's this is not the first time we've heard this in this sector. Okay, this is not the first time we've heard the threats in the sector. This is not the first time we've heard it done against different people. It's not the first time. But maybe this is the time where things can make a change. Maybe this will be the time where people realize this shit of threatening people gotta stop. You can do your content without not wanting to hurt people. I mean, you can do your content without having to think you have to take somebody out, physically attack or beat people up because you mad at whatever. Right? You can have your content, talk your smack. But if you get to a point where you want to take somebody out because of their words, and you want to go to their school or go to their homes, and you want to cause bodily harm, you need to think about what you're willing to lose over YouTube channel. Hey, Gamma. All against YouTube guideline. Hey, Fi, let's be clear. The lady is Crust says truth giving. I don't do nothing for FBI, just be cussing. So to go further than that. That's what I say. I don't make no threats. I curse. I have cursed. I have done my share a little bit, but I ain't never made no threats. I ain't want to go nowhere. But let me tell you. And then again, what is cyberbullying, harassment, threats? What level does it get to? When it gets to a certain level, that's when they get involved. What does it take for YouTube or the FBI to get involved? To what levels do they get involved? Okay, what has to happen before they get involved? When do they start actually looking? Is the case. When do they actually start getting involved? To what levels? Because when sometimes, like I said, when people feel emboldened and they think nothing's going to happen, this is when things can go left. Because what we kept seeing throughout the few months is this thing just kept getting back worse and worse, and it just kept going and going and getting worse and worse. It just kept building. The honesty, it just kept building. It just kept building and is building, and there's no relief. No relief at all. You know what I'm saying? Serenus, what's Serenus say? My gamma tell them I didn't do nothing. Serenus, right, gamma, free will. YouTube is going to say we have y'all a block button, and that's it. That's what I kept saying. YouTube has given like they gave the guidelines. They say you are a free agent. Okay, you your own boss. You have YouTube says first thing they're going to say is First Amendment rights. They're going to say First Amendment rights. You're 1099 independent contractor. You're an adult. We have buttons and everything else. Okay? YouTube is not going to hold our hands. They're going to try to protect certain things, but they're going to leave you to your own device. YouTube is going to leave you to your own device, right? They're going to do but so much. They cannot hold our hands through this situation, because they perceive that we are all over the age of 18. Did we not sign that YouTube contract stating that we were over the age of 18 with we are responsible adults, okay, and over the age of 18. YouTube has attorneys that's going to bring those same paperwork, that all that stuff we signed. Oh, they got that sitting pretty. Feed me and you read make me want to cry, so I don't know. Feed mama, ma'am, your reads make me want to cry, so I don't know. Now, I know you got me my back. You got me my back, yeah. We know you ain't did a doggone thing. We all know you didn't do a doggone thing. And you and your own subscribe and you your own subscriber, you don't like it, then we don't recommend available for you, so you don't have to worry about your pretty little hair. Let me see. Hold up. And you your own subscriber, you don't like it, then we do not recommend available, so you didn't have to worry about your pretty little head. So Red, I know be wanting to cry. I know be wanting to cry. Oh, I don't think it will. And at what point will it stop? No, Justin, you tried to curse. Okay, I tried to curse, but they know we can't mess with her because she can't even curse. She can't even curse. They ain't gonna mess with me. They like, nah, that lady over there can't even curse. Nah, we ain't messing with her, man. Her reads were like weak. We can't even mess with her. My reads were the weakest one out here. Okay, Mr. FBI, you know I can't read. You know everything I say was just Y'all know I'm just It was her. Get her. She's scream, Sarah. I don't be wanting to cry. I know be wanting to cry. And ma'am, you read. I know you got me back. You got to say, you didn't do a thing. And like I said the other day, what has to happen? What has to happen before all this foolishness stops? Because again, we've been here before. We've heard the threats before. We're not new to the threats. We've heard underlining threats. We know about the doxing. We know about people being doxed, and people going to people's jobs or calling people's jobs. We know about all that. We've been here. This is not the first time. The past few months is not the first time we've done it, heard it. Okay, just new victims. Let's look at that. New participants, new whatever you want to call it, victims, new people. It happened. They've done it. Okay, they've done it. This side have done it, that side have done it, and don't put your shoe on if it's not you, okay? If you ain't that no side, don't have to say nothing. But we know it's been done on either sides, if y'all want to call it quote unquote sides, okay? No, no. We know the players, all the players involved. Nobody has to go point fingers. Everybody know the players. Everybody been here long enough, knows who's done what, who's done the doxing, who's done the intimidating, who's done this and done that. Nobody have to do all that. We know, we've been here, we've seen it. Okay? We've seen it. We've been here. We've done it. We know who's what. We know the players. And if you don't know the players in the game, I ain't got time to go through all of it. Can't even curse is a funny answer. Can't even curse. I can't even get a good curse out, so I know I ain't threatening nobody because I can't even curse nobody right. As far as they told me just be quiet, Justice. Don't even say the B word because you can't even say the B word right, Justice. They tell me I can't say the B word right. They say I can't use the F word right. I can't use the N word right. I can't say nothing right when it comes to cursing. So that should clear me, right? Good morning, Justice. Hey, Angel Mom. Since I can't curse, since I don't know how to use those foul languages, I should be good. Feed! No, I'm just kidding. But again, I don't know what. Yeah, everybody has done it, but it's the ringleader that does it, and the first to write to the cop who think they are, and the first to run to the cop. Yeah, that may be the case, but again, looking at it as a whole, you got a ringleaders. I when I look at things, I look at it as a whole. Ringleaders on either side, right? Because there've been ringleaders and not. We know that. I'm gonna be real, okay? Keep it real. This shit ain't new to it. Ain't nobody new. I've heard worse. I've heard worse. I've seen worse. Okay, in this sector, it's just to a point now where it may garner some attention because it's so non-stop. Okay, when it gets to a point where there's no relief, then it may be a bigger problem. When it's no relief, at times it may have been some relief, but when it's consistently no relief, and then you listen to certain things that you have heard in the past few months a little bit, it's the same and not the same. But then again, who am I, right? I guess to everything there is a process. There was a beginning and there will be an end. Most definitely. Yes. And again, how it comes to the end, what it looks like the end looks like, it's going to be determined by each individual. Each individual is responsible for yourselves. I'm not responsible for anybody out here. I'm responsible for justice. I can talk to my head come off. I can talk about the things I see in this sector. But in the end, I am responsible for my actions and for what I do out here and what I have done out here. I'm not responsible for nobody else. I have to take accountability for me. As much as I can talk about any and everybody else out here, I have to be responsible for me and my actions, and I'm going to be held accountable. I'm going to be the one that if I have, hey, me. Because what? I'm supposed to be the responsible adult. I signed those documents saying that I was over the age of 18 and responsible for the conduct of myself on this channel. Okay? Right, I'm responsible for me. I hope I don't get them for cursing a little. They better stop cussing on here. Ringleaders, yes. Me. Ringleaders and participants, yes. But all content creators responsible for the audience. I'm just picking to the. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you a case. If you are an influencer, you call yourself an influencer. You again know at some point if you are able, and this is a case, this is a actual case. It got precedent where a social media content creator was able to influence people in her audience, a supporter, to do certain things. She was held responsible. And there are times when you know the by your audience response and by their actions and by what they're saying and what they're willing to do. Listen to your audience. You have an audience. You read the chat. You know if you're inciting your audience or not. Clearly, if I go back and I look at your content, I know clearly that you're inciting your audience. And if you're able, as an influencer, to incite your audience and you know your audience, you read their chat, you read their temperature, you know who is who. You know who you're signaling out to. You can be held responsible for inciting. You can be, if they can put it together. We if they can say that you have, they go back and they look at you and your audience and how you communicate and what your audience has said and what you have said, and they post everything, they'll know exactly how much influence you have over your audience. Because there are people that are trying to incite. They can read between the lines, the context of it all. Okay? But why did people and don't want to be doxxed and know you're a victim? What am I saying? Now you want to run to the cop show and press charges just to your commentary roast and leave people jobs and ish alone, says Truth Giving. I thought they were being same as well, but it's not, girl. I thought they were the same as well, but it's not. Let me see. Let me go back up because I'm missing some things here. Good morning, Justice. Are they different? We supposed to be on trial. Chris chat. Chris, my gamma. They better stop. They're going down. Content creators, influencers. They're probably not the same. And content creators, influencers. Are they the same? When do you define an influencer? How do you define an influencer and a content creator? Does it have to be by numbers? What defines a content creator from a social media influencer? Because is it the numbers that you carry? Is it the consistency of your content? So let me see. All that's been going on for a while. The players change and brights on their BS. The CC now a different breed than 4 years ago. Most definitely. Content creators create content such as skits, entertainment. Influencers are the ones that you see doing more. Oh, brand deals encouraging. There you go. Okay. So can we look at us? Okay, so content influencer got brand deals. Okay, influencer may have brand deals and stuff like that. So can somebody still, in the context, if they got a strong base, be considered, even if I don't call them a social media influencer, can content creators still have influences over their audience? So that is the difference between a content creator and influencer. Okay. But let's look at it this like this here. Can a content creator influence or persuade their audience without being called quote unquote a social media influencer? If I let's take social media influencer out of the whole thing because there's a difference. Can me as a content creator carry the title content creator, still influence because I have a strong audience that supports me? And I can tell by the content, of what they're saying and our interactions based on what I'm reading in the chat, because I do read my chat, I can possibly tell those that are willing to go the extra mile for me, right? I can tell if you read in your chat, you can probably tell what subscribers or supporters are willing to go that extra mile, right? You can read and know who will possibly do what, all right? Based on their content, based on what your audience is saying, you can probably, and you can say, well, they just talk. I don't know if they just talk. I don't know. I don't know these people. So, but the only thing I have to go on is what they're writing in my chat, right? So, because I don't know them personally, I don't know what they're capable of, but I know what they're writing in my chat. And if I am responding to what they're saying in my chat, and I acknowledge what they're saying in my chat, and I know that they're a strong supporter in my chat, I very well may have known that this person might be capable, right? You have to build an audience, and you are sharing your opinions and lifestyle so you can directly influence, most definitely. Okay? So again, thank you, Embryo, for declaring. So social media influencer and content creators are two different things. But as a content creator, you still can influence behaviors. You still have the ability to influence certain types of responses and behaviors. We've seen it. I've gotten people want to. I got a direct threat one time based on my content about another content creator. They actually directly threatened me and wanted to cause bodily harm toward me because of what I said about another content creator. So you're saying if someone got on YouTube and said they're calling your job every day, you don't think wrong with that? Yeah, there's something wrong with that. And mom and Angel Mom, that's facts. Let's see. Yes, I have a positive influence on my audience because my content can have a life-changing effect. Again, you can have positive. Angel Mom says her content, she has a positive influence. Um, Good morning, Inel Furman. Tilo, hey, baby, say Emery on Nicole. Sure will do for you. That's why I'm careful with my words, says Gamma's World. True, Gamma. You build an audience and you are sharing your opinions and lifestyle so you can directly influence. That's true, Justice, says Amriel. My Gamma, I know you know the difference. Exactly. Right, Tilo. You are an influencer. Yes, you are an influencer. If they have a platform, they can be an influencer. Most definitely, Tilo. Yes, absolutely. It's a lot of content creators that do it. I believe they can, Justice says Amber Nicole. Is the content creator encourage persuade? It's the content creator. It's the content influence encourage persuaded acts. MC. It's the content influencer that encourages persuade, etc. Yeah. Influence built an audience. Influencers built audiences. Built an audience. Okay. That's the difference, and I didn't know that for a while. Okay, Amber Nicole. That makes sense. Influencers usually have brand deals. Okay, says Caddy. Okay, Caddy, when they call the child family on that, or you that, well, crazy, and all the police to your house is crazy. When they call the child's family on you, when they call the child family on you, that was crazy, and call the police to your house is crazy. All of it is crazy. And we've seen so much. Content creators create content such as skits, entertainment, and etc. Influence are ones that you see doing so much more so brand deals and encouraging, influencing the audience. Okay. All right, Truth. Okay. Thanks for the clarification. All that has been going on for a while. Their players change and bring on that BS. The CCs now are a different breed from then 4 years ago. Child's family. I wear influencer for my entrepreneur journey, motivation, encouraging other, teaching, and inspiring. So, Ambrielle, you're a social media influencer. Would you say you're the social media influencer based on brand deals, based on your content, and based on how you present? I would consider you a social media influencer based on how you present your channel and the things that you're doing and the content that you're bringing. And because I believe you have like different things that you're doing, you would be considered a social media influencer, correct? Correct, Embryo? No, I wear both titles, Justin. So yeah, you are a content creator because you do skits as well. You do skits, wonderful skits. So you are both content creator and social media influencer. So you wear both hats. Got you. Children's family. Example, I can have 50 subs. I can tag a product, someone order, boom. I just influence. Got you. Maybe not as on a large scale, but I influence my audience. Okay. Okay. So these folks ain't neither. They just go live, says Caddy. I am a content creator first. Okay, because that's what I love. But my audience told me otherwise. Okay. Hey, Tipswell, how you doing? Correct, Gamma. Right, Gamma. Let me see, Gamma said. Example, I can have 50. Yeah, so everybody, I can see what everybody's saying. Everybody's making good points. Good points. Everybody's making some great points. So now I know the difference between a content creator and social media influencer. But let's talk about this case, y'all. And I got to find out the case. There was a young lady, and they consider her a not only a content creator but a social media influencer. I think she didn't do content. I think she was a social media. She had an audience. She had a young man that she encouraged him to do something. She had him in his. They were following. He was following her. Somehow they developed some type of relationship over the platform. She started. I think they may have had off type of thing like through emails and whatever, but somehow she encouraged him to take his life. They charged her. They charged her because she had such an influence over him that she told him to do certain things. I got to go back and get that case, but they charged her because of her influence, because of her background as a social media influencer. I do I do a live on addiction. Let me see. Bob's research is that content. However, if I persuade someone to stop using, is that influence? This is a question. Oh wow. I think I don't know, Angel Mom. I don't know. Because, like, when I come out here, and anytime I talk about anything that has anything to do with mental health, I make sure I do a disclaimer that I make sure you're talking to your doctor, your counselor. I'm not your counselor. I'm not your doctor. Foremost, this is entertainment, information, and educational purposes, and consult your doctor, your therapist, anybody else. I am not that. I cannot tell you because that's the first thing I want to do when I'm talking anything about mental health. I clarify that I'm not your doctor. I'm not your therapist. This is about education, information, content, and stay in contact with your doctor. Seek help with your thing first. That's how I do it. I don't know because I just feel that I don't want to tell nobody to do something, and they're like, well, Justice said this. I'm like, no, this is information. Please stay in contact with your doctor. Justice, you're influencing while spreading awareness. Most definitely. So it's awareness, right? Education, information, right? But still that disclaimer, I'm not your doctor. I'm not telling you to stop your medications. I'm not telling you to do something this. This is information purposes only. Please continue to seek help with somebody continue to talk to your doctor, your therapist, whomever. Um, Angel Mom agree both. Just as you're influencing while spreading awareness. Angel Mom does her content through her own experiences. Most definitely. Most definitely. And you can do that. You can do I'm just you do that. I'm based on my own experience. That's when when I'm not based on my experience. This is my experience. This is for information. Most definitely. But I would say that they are influencers as well. They do have an audience when they're doxing and participating, bothering or protect the community, like the elderly. Most definitely, um, absolutely, Angel Mom. Yes, because she has told them to kill. Yes, because she told them to kill us. Yeah, yes, that's content, positive content. That's at that love. So I am both Gamma. I believe that. Thank you for the sparkle spits tips world. Angel Mom, that's a very meaningful influx, says Gamma's world. Angel Mom, yes, influencer. Yes you are, Angel Mom. So most definitely they're saying that you can be a CC that only makes smoothies. You can influence others to simply want to choose a certain blender. We have responsibilities. You can be influencing others to simply to want to choose a certain blender. You can suggest your blender. You can tell people this is the blender that you use, and you got this is why you use this blender. This blender does this for you. You didn't you just tell the people that's the blender that you use, and this is how the blender worked for you. That's and they may buy it because of you. They trust you, right, Gamma? So if Gamma talks about a blender that she's using, and she tells how this blender has worked for her and what it does for her and how it does her food, she may have influenced people to go and get that blender. Why? Because if people listen to Gamma, she's trustworthy. They like her content. She has a lot of knowledge. She's a foodie. They might go and buy that blender. I talked about my ninja. I talked about my ninja foodie. I came on here and put pictures up of my ninja foodie. What is it called? Air fryer. I put the picture of how good the chicken looked when it's air fried. I talked about how good it does my food. Gamma liked the Ninja. Once I talked about it, she went and bought a Ninja air fryer. She didn't buy the exact kind, but she went and bought one. Did I? Was that an influence? Right? I just talked about my Ninja and my Ninja foodie. People like, oh wow, Ninja foodie. They may have not bought the same one, but they took a look at the Ninja, right? They took a look at the Ninja. We talk about food out here. I talk about how good the watermelon smoothies are at the cookout. People, nope. Oh, Justice ain't got. Well, Justice eat a lot. She like good food. Let me go try out the watermelon. You know, let me go try this watermelon shake at the cookout. I saw Gamma found the watermelon shake. She don't have a cookout, but she went and got a watermelon shake. Did I influence Gamma to go try a watermelon shake? I know get Granny K's been a couple of times. I know a few people have went out. Now you're influencing me to get one because my baby has been begging me to get that one. You can't go around with it. For me personally, the Ninja Foodie I've had for over 5 years. I bought it back in 2022, so it might be 4 years, almost 5 years. Best thing ever, best purchase I ever made. Back then, it was probably $175 when I bought it. It's probably less than that now. Best investment I made. Love it today. 4 years old and hasn't failed me yet. So Ninja has good products, okay? I can say this based on the products I've used from Ninja. The Ninja blender. Ninja puts out some good stuff. So I can say if I want to talk about Ninja products and the different products I bought from Ninja, they put some good stuff out. So you can't go wrong with the Ninjas, in my opinion. Gamma said get the dual basket. So I purchase things and they never even said a word. I just watch and see how it works and purchase it, says Gamma. I mean, evil, wicked influencers says, remember, I guess if you want to influence folks to act and food, then you can do that. Most definitely. Most definitely. And influencing works both ways, okay? Let's look at this. Can our audience influence us as well? Based on, let's flip it around. Let's flip it around. Can our audience influence certain behaviors based on how they support us? Yea or nay? Can our audience influence behaviors of content creators? Can the audience influence content creators' behaviors based on the type of support? Yes, because some of these supporters are a hot mess, good or bad. Heck yeah. My audience have me trying things all the time, says Gamma's World. Yes, because some of these supporters are a hot mess. So both subs and CCs have responsibilities, and agencies, and both will be held responsible for outcomes. Most definitely. I mean, Gamma, that's the one Ninja want too. Naya want too. Oh, the dual basket. See, Gamma, that's in a good way. They keep up the mess. The most, says Embryo. Yes, I do definitely believe so. Yeah, our audience, based on, because we look at rewards, right? We look at now not everybody, but a lot of times I say, I talked about it earlier. I talked about the what's the word I want to say? What's the word I want to use? I talked about how behaviors being rewarded. Okay, you can do good things here and get your audience supporting you through super stickers, super chats, just all the things that YouTube allows. But you can also get the same thing based on not negative contact. So the behavior can be influenced to keep doing what you're doing if you're doing good, positive. But again, if I see the reward and pays more to do in this way, sometimes that's what happens. People feel like, wait a minute, this thing ain't working for me, so let me jump into this because they appear to be rewarding more for negative, bad behavior, right? Not right, but you see that what can pay, it pays more. So if I come out here and cuss and carry out and stay engaged in the negativity, I'll get more people. I'll get more rewards. I'll get people coming in and get more views. That can lead people to go astray as well and build a content in that manner. Or you can stay where you are and build your content in the way you want to. Slow and easy, steady wins the race, right? If I wasn't for Charge It, I would never know about the Gold Peak Zero Super Sugar Sweet Tea. I've never heard of that one. So true. I would never know about the Gold Peak Zero Sugar Sweet Tea. I don't know what no sweet tea without no sugar, y'all. That's true, and I feel like it depends on what kind of audience you have. My audience always encouraging me and rooting for me in many ways. Okay, okay. I had a supporter to diagnose why I sound. I seen that one. Their supporters are super smart. That's why we come and ask them questions. They be knowing stuff. I seen that one, Gamma, where he told you what was going on with your nose, and that to get that look at. Yeah, now you can learn a lot of different things. Our supporters are just as wise and smart, and they do bring good information. So it works two ways, right? That's why for me, and I'm gonna be honest with you all. Well, it's artificial sweetener, says Gamma. I value my supporters because again, they bring just as great information. They're willing to share. Not only is it going one way where I can come and tell my story, It gives them an opportunity to share some of the things they have been through, which gives you insight. You're not by yourself. You're human. They're human, right? You get to see a side of people you may have never met. You never will know them if you don't go beyond outside of going to do a meet and greet. But people have opened themselves up to share things with you that it takes a vulnerability, to be vulnerable. It takes a certain amount of vulnerability to come out here and to talk about certain things and to share certain things. And it works both ways, right? But the scary part about it is that when people take that vulnerability and use it to hurt you, or either the supporter or the content creator, when they take that vulnerability that you allow people in and share, that's the part that hurt me, is that me becoming vulnerable and you take what I share to try to crush me with it. I'm human. Yeah, that hurt because it takes a lot for me to become vulnerable, to allow certain things in and allow certain things out. So yeah, this where Embryo, what did Embryo say? They had stomach issues in the past, and that information was very helpful for us. Grateful for them. Most definitely. So people have shared things that we can learn from. But what's the part is when you take that information as a content creator, or even as a supporter or subscriber, y'all know I always say it's two different ones, and you take that vulnerability, and that's the chance you take out here. I understand that. That's the chance you take. But you use it to hurt somebody with it. You use it to damage, try to damage. By the grace of God, you couldn't get me. But you tried to damage and hurt people with things that they shared. Because building relationships out here as content creators, as supporters, does require a little bit of vulnerability. It does require a little bit of vulnerability. And that's because that's how you can't build trust. I don't care where you are. You cannot build trust and relationships with people without being a little bit vulnerable. And vulnerable doesn't mean me letting you know all these secrets. That's a different type of vulnerability. That means being open a little bit. That doesn't mean sharing the secrets of your worlds, having these deep. Vulnerability is me being open a little bit to let you see certain things, but I don't have to tell my whole life story. Okay? That's why it's important community so much. That's why my important community so much. I always tell them that they help to build my community on IGW. They tell me good live. I tell them y'all create the live. It's important to build genuine connection. That is definitely what it is. That connection that you build outside, it's not only everybody like it's different for the world. It's social media. It's different. No, because you're involving human lives. We're human, not only in social media, but off social media. So your true character, if you that person, you're going to build connection based on who you are, not a social media connection. My vulnerability is based on my character, who I am on and off YouTube. So what I bring you here is justice, even though my name is Rhonda, I still have the vulnerabilities of Rhonda, aka Justice. I'm still human. For my channel, they come into the space, but I think they connect with each other through a chat. And that's another good way. But what about you as a content creator? Our communities can build each other in a chat and stuff. But as a content creator, when we build these connections, the genuine connection, not based on what I can get from you, not based on what you've given me, but based on that true human connection, a vulnerability. I felt people showed vulnerability when they talked about their loved ones, when they shared their feelings, what their loss. That's a sense of vulnerability. You entrusted me with that. You entrusted me with that information, not to come back and bash you with it. When you came on my channel and you told me about your loss, about your weight loss, about this and that about you, that's a sense of vulnerability to me. You went that extra thing to share. You could have just sat there and listened. But you trusted me enough to talk about your side of the story. And then I trusted enough to share with you my side. Every sub won't be aligned to the channel. That would be true, but I'm talking about the subs that are there. We can talk about the subs that not or the subs that are not allowed, but I'm talking about the ones that, I know you take a chance when you come out here. Because not everybody is the same. Not everybody has the same intentions. Not everybody has the same look. People are different. Some people get beside themselves and forget how they got where they are. They start thinking they're bigger than the program, most definitely. Gamma, that's how I do with my people as well, because I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for my supporters, right? Just as alignment. For my channel, they come into spaces. So, that's why, as hey, Sheila Norris, some people just get into, like I said, it takes, it's almost as, we disconnect. Sometimes as a content creator, we try to disconnect from in a way that we're not responsible. I'm not like that. I take on a sense of responsibility for my channel and I take accountability. Not saying that nobody else does, but I'm a person that, for me personally, describing me personally, when somebody comes and shares something with me, I appreciate that. They trust me enough to share that information with them, and we then have this alignment where I'm willing to share. But again, like you said, Gamma, not everybody is on our channels for the right reasons, right? They're not everybody that subscribe and not everybody that sign support are there for the right reasons. You have to learn over time. It took a lot to learn. Hi, Gamma, you're looking beautiful as always, says Sheila Norris. Right. So it takes, hey, Sheila. So it takes time. It takes that vulnerability, that genuine connect. And you know what? It all, in the end, it'll all kind of clear itself out. Once you weed out the garden, you have to weed your garden. You have to weed out the garden. And every so often you got to pull a little bit more weed. When everything came to weeding out your garden, clearing the way, and you can see the beauty of who you have in your audience. You see what I'm saying? Once you weed out a lot of the weeds, the things that stop your growth, the things that kept you where you were, the garden is not so big anymore. You get to see the real beauty of your garden when it's not overshadowed by a bunch of weeds, right? So when we weed our garden, we get to see it may not be a lot of flowers, it may not be a lot of beautiful roses and stuff, but they're growing and they're beautiful and they withstood the weeds. They withstood the weeds. They survived the weeds, right? After you did all those weeds in this pretty little garden that's left, they survive. They survive. And those were what meant to survive, and that's why they're still there. But a lot of times we gotta just weed through. Okay? Yes, I want support who resonate with my community, and I totally understand those who don't. Yeah, you can understand. I don't understand. I'm not gonna say I understand everybody that don't, because I don't. Okay? I don't understand everything. Gamma, I don't. I can understand, but I mean you're not saying literally, but a lot of times, it took a minute to get there. I choose quality over quantity. There you go. quality over quantity. Once you start to weed out your garden, you got quality. It survived. I Okay, justice, but everybody's not for everybody. I'm not. Yeah, everybody's not for everybody. I mean, that's good. That's understandable. That's understandable. I understand that. I mean, clearly it's not. But that's not the point I'm trying to make. What I'm trying to say is that once we, you know, once we clear things up a little bit, it's just what it is. You get to see your channel. You get to see those that are really there and those that are supporting you through thick and the thin. And things change. People change. Not everybody's going to always be there. People think things may change along the way. Somebody might feel you're a cup of tea today and doesn't even have to leave without anger, without dissent. Some people just may move on because, hey, this is not where I'm at now. I may have grown in a different direction. I may go. So a lot of times when people go and don't come back, I'm not thinking that they're mad at me. I'm not thinking there's something wrong. Things change. People change. I may have changed. And I may not just be somebody's cup of tea. And it don't have to be on negativity. It can just be, hey, you know what? I'm just, moving on. So not everybody that leaves or you don't see doesn't mean that they leaving in some type of anger, mad way. Sometimes people just grow apart. But sort of sometimes supporting for content and I not always through the thick and the thin. Maybe through as well. I mean, it's how you look at it. It's your perception and my perception. It's how you perceive it. We all going to see things a little differently and view things a little differently as well. I may feel that way today. I may feel that something different tomorrow. Everything is just not an absolute for me. How supporters, because I can't read people's mind. I don't try. I can't read everybody's mind. I have no idea. Very true. That's how I view it. Yeah. So I can't read people's mind. I can't read what a supporter feels today and how they feel tomorrow. You know, I can only come out here and do my best and be responsible for how I bring out things. And then however it comes out, what is meant for me in the end is going to be for me. And that's the end of, whatever is going to be for me is going to be for me. I can only come out here and put out the product that I think is serving my channel the best way now, how I see it. How is my channel serving the people I want to come, the people I'm trying to attract, and the people I'm trying to help maintain the support. And that's how, yes, Gamma, because when you change your content, you lose some support. Most definitely, Amber, Nicole, when you saying things, whatever happens, however your content come out, you may stay on something for a month and somebody go, that ain't what I'm about. I'm moving on. I'm not going to be angry. It's just what it is. You're not going to keep everybody. It's going to fluctuate. It's going to come up and down. They may come back. They may not come back. And that's just the crux of how YouTube works. You just keep bringing what you have, your true authentic self, giving what you can give, provide what you can provide, and who's there for you is there for you, right? Who's there and who's not, and if the changes throughout the time, that's what it's going to do. It's going to change, right? You just come show up as you and do your very best and give your very best. That's it. You approach this thing as you would probably approach your job, right? You just come and give your best, do your best. And then, it is what it is in the end. It is what it is. Let me see. Supporters are sometimes supporting for content and not always through the thick and thin. That may be true, yeah. Yes, Amber, I would expect that. Let That's why it's so important to build your own audience because your foundation is more solid. I don't want anybody supporting me because the next person supporting me because you like me. And that's the one thing, Amriel Nicole, that I always said. Don't come sit with me for all these years and the only reason you were here was for somebody else. I can't count you. You were never my number. If you sitting here supporting me, not based on my content, not based on what I am doing, but you only there because somebody else sent you, don't blame me for the time you invested. Okay? Don't blame me for the time you invested. Because I asked you, if you're here to support me. Okay? Don't come sit in my audience for all these years and tell me in the end who you were here for. That ain't my problem. I came and did what I had to do out here as a content creator. You wasted your time because you were never here for me. You were here for somebody else. I don't need that. I don't need your support. You're not my number. I can't count you. I have to count you like a loss. Because when you have a business, when you go, how they project how a business, when you go into business, you count your loss in the beginning. How many times do I have to count a loss that these people are not really support? I can't. Whatever a child I learned that clearly on the trees when I was with her says she got mad with me and they got mad. I was like, what the fuck I do to y'all? However, I'm so thankful that she taught me that early in the game. Thank you. Yeah, Amber and the Core, the first thing you better learn. Yes, Amber, I would expect that. Gamma, because when you change your content, you lose some support. Count it as a game. Count it as a game 100%. Count it as a game. I can't count you. You gotta, So basically, stop supporting people. Stop going into people's channel that you really don't support and standing there. And that's the fakest of the fake. If you can sit with people, I'm going to be real. If you can sit in somebody's chat for year over year, knowing that the only reason you there because somebody else sent you, what? And then I have to internalize my feelings gonna be based on that other person's feeling that sent you. So you're gonna sit there until the person who sent you get mad, and you're gonna sit there your entire time, somebody you really don't like, somebody you only there for, so you're just gonna sit there and wait till the content creator get mad. Oh, you mad now? Be gone. Be mad too. How? How you gonna sit there all that entire time? You're just waiting for somebody else's emotions to react. You're waiting for somebody else's emotions and feelings for you to react. How? How as an adult that you can sit and watch somebody for years and on cue when that content creator is mad, you mad. And I ain't did shit to you. You mad. I ain't did nothing to you. You mad. You just now got, Man, life is too short for that stuff. We all learn this tough lesson. You have to keep moving. Most definitely. Yes, that's how it works. You mad. How you going? But we've seen it happen cooking, but these are the facts, and I was taught early in the game too. Y'all, y'all. I'm telling you, when it happened to me, I was like, what the F? Huh? When it happened to me, it was like, Justice, you should have known. Y'all, maybe I had blinders on, but y'all, when the reality, I used to say it, but man, when that reality hit me in the face, y'all, that this shoot really does happen. Oh, I seen it and I was aware of it, but ain't nothing till when it happens to you. Okay? You can talk about it, you can see it, but when it happens to you, it's a whole different situation, right? You can see it happening to everybody else. You can talk about when you see it happening there. Boy, but when it's your turn, when it's your turn, and when it hits you, whoo, you're like, oh shoot, I talked about this. I seen this. I seen it happen to other content creators. Ain't nothing like when it hits you square in the face, y'all. Ain't nothing like when it hits you square in the face. Like, oh snap, this is for real, for real. But it's okay, y'all. Everything happened for a reason. Then they tried again when I got my transplant. I told all them 304s, get away from me. I know y'all don't like me, and that's fine. Let me tell you, that's the immaturity level that these people are at. Hell, I'm not even out here as a CC and lost over 100 subscribers. This is why you can't put all your eggs. Most definitely, Dimples. Most definitely. Let me tell you. But I take this as, let me tell you, a release. I take this as not only a lesson learned, but I take it as the biggest relief ever in YouTube history. Let me tell you this. There is when it happens, and when you see it, and when you feel it, in the end, it is almost the biggest, not almost, it is the biggest relief and release ever. Okay? It is. It is one of the biggest. You get to see, and there's no regrets. There's no regrets. When the doors have been closed, and let me tell you, ain't no regrets, ain't no looking back, ain't no want back, ain't no comeback. It's just be gone. Because I'm 100% better. I'm 100% better. That's typically how it works out here. I haven't bothered anyone out here either. And all you got to do, and we've learned, Amber Nicole, is association. Assassination by association. Y'all ever heard that before? Assassination by association. People get assassinated. Their channels get assassinated through association. Perceived association. You get what it was called shrapnel. You catch the association, assassinated by association, shrapnel. You catch the what is it called? You catch a stray. There's so many strays out here, man. People be catching strays all the dang on time. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Just be standing by, and all of a sudden you catch a stray. Ambria, you catch so much strays your way. I I have never seen a content creator catch so much strays. They don't be doing nothing. Just catch strays all over the place. I'm like, wait a minute. Y'all, the epitome of catching a stray is Gabrielle catching some strays. I'm telling you, some of y'all better learn how to duck crawl and take cover. You better learn how to take cover, duck, and crawl, because if the one person that's caught more strays, and you ain't never seen them do anything on the channel, you ain't never seen them do one content and catch more strays instead of nothing. Oh my God. And then be mad at me too. I don't even be knowing. They mad. Every hour. She used to wake up in the morning. Oh shit, what happened? Where I caught that hot one from? The only person that can wake up in the morning and realize they caught a stray. When I used to see your name pop up, I'm like, I be trying to go back and, where, how? Let me go find how that happened. Wait. And I'm like, but wait a minute. Again, a lot of people out here are assassinated through association. That's it. Unfortunately, that's how this channel works. Sometimes assassination through association. So many get attacked, but you have to have the thick skin to deal with this stuff, says Dimple J. Yep, yeah, you gotta have thick skin. But a lot of times, we're humans, and as thick as our skin may be, sometimes they're gonna pull it out of you. Okay? As thick as our skin, and I consider myself a thick skin. You can call me all the names you want. I can be the fat bee, this and that. Certain things will draw me out. Certain things will pull me out of my character. Calling me fat, calling me different names in reference to my looks or my weight, that does not pull me out of my character. Most people know what will pull me out of my character. That used to pull me out of my character. Won't pull me out of my character now. But calling me all the different names, man. Listen, I've been in worlds where name calling. If I didn't develop that thick skin, I wouldn't survive. So people calling me fat, ugly, bald headed, toothless, whatever, coffee drinking, donut eating. I've been a donut eating person since I've been a cop. How many donut eating jokes have I had to hear since I've been a cop? I mean, I was a cop out here. We didn't even go park near donut shops. You would not get my car near a donut shop when I was a police officer. That was the worst thing you can do, is park your cruiser within a block of a donut shop. We avoided donut shops like the plague. We avoided anything that we had. We would avoid parking near the Krispy Kreme donut shop. If we not parking near it. So name calling, I'm too old for that. There's certain I've been called every name in the book. My job has been availed me to be called every name in the book. So when you get out here and call me names, and that don't do it for me. That don't do it for me. Name calling. I've been everything under the book. I've been everything you can think under the book. So calling me fat now and calling me what? Please, let live this world too long to be thinking that somebody calling me fat. Now, if you call me skinny, I'll be offended because you're lying on me. Okay? Thank you for the one hand. Calling me skinny, you're lying. Okay? And thank you for the 100, Ambrio. So yeah, guys, it's just what it is, right? This YouTube, especially when they are fat too, says Chris, and yeah, that's what I just don't get it. Why people come up? Why is the first thing when you fat, you calling somebody else fat? I can't come out here and call somebody else fat when I'm fat. Okay? Nah, that's just crazy. That's just crazy. But I'm just gonna leave it at that. Everybody just needs to shut the fuck up, says Chris. Chris, let me stop. So I'm gonna leave it at that, guys. I'm gonna leave it at that. But like I said, everything growth, putting things in perspective, and like I said, You look back at life, especially when you look back at this YouTube channel that I have built. I'm in a place right now where I am just so happy that I am able to look at things and not feel that stuff that can hurt you personally. See, a lot of times, and I'm going to say this, one day, just as I am going to do a live on how you positively influence me in a way that not even a therapist could do. Keep being you. Thank you, Angel Mom. Thank you. And I give God the glory because I promise you guys, a lot of times when I come out here and when I've come out here in the past, I have prayed that whenever I do, when it comes to helping people or encouraging people, I ask God to lead me. Even in things I do today, I ask Him to take lead on my words and my heart because definitely it means a lot to me if I can help somebody in a way, and I never knew who I've touched. I know in this world as influencers, content creators, we have touched so many people we may have not even known. Sometimes we're not going to get to see how many lives we have impacted, maybe in a positive way. Angel Mom has let me know. It's been in my world many times where I've met people years that have came back and told me, like I told you about the young man that was he was a carjacker. And he came back as a man, as a father, and told me thank you. He remembered my name. I didn't remember his name, but he made sure to let me know that I helped him along the way. And now he is the manager and he has a daughter. So as we go through this, even as a content creators, the impact, the influence we may have so slightly on people we may never know. There are people that sit up in the skyboxes, in the rafters, in the high seats. We have impacted them and we will never know. And just as I have, Angel Mom, trust me, your story and the way you do your channel, you have done the same. We all get a chance to pass certain things on. The way we live our life out on this channel, influence people. The things that just know that, there's so many different stories out here and we all got different personalities and different things, how we do things. Fee has her way that she may have influenced people through her journey. Gamma, Amber, Angel Mom, Dimple J, all of us don't know the impact at some point where we have touched a life and we may never get to see it. Okay? We don't know how many lives we touched every morning and every day. We may not get to see it. We get to see the people that come and sit in and let us know, but the people that's peeping in from the outside, you know, so yeah, Angel Mom definitely did that for me, says Tips World. So we just don't know, as content creators and as influencers. We just don't know. Yes, she's all of you guys. Yes, she is. All of you guys are wonderful. So we just keep doing what we do. There's the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to the social media platform. But just know that somewhere along the line, somewhere along this stuff that we do out here and we know we're doing, and we know that somehow we take comfort in knowing that some of the stuff that we have done out here may have touched somebody in a positive way, got somebody up this morning, got somebody looking for help, got somebody seeking help, got somebody through the morning. Somebody may have been crying. We got them up and got them through. We made them laugh. We made them laugh. They may have not been laughing when they've been scrolling through, but they came across Amber Nicole as the HOA lady who harassed the heck out of people, and they started laughing. Okay? They started laughing. Because laughter. Some of the skits that we do out here, somebody laughed that wasn't laughing. Somebody needed to cry that hadn't cried. Somebody needed to know that they're not the only one going through it. That they're not the only one that have been in it, going through it. Okay? They're not the only one that experienced job loss, home loss. They're not the only one that have experienced loss in life. They're not the only one grieving. They're not the only one that have lost a loved one, a child, a son. They're not the only one. They're not by themselves. They're not the only one that may have been in an addiction of some type. They're not the only one. They're not the only one that may experience illnesses and recovering. They're not by themselves. That's the thing that some people may have come across. You're not alone. There's somebody else that may have been experiencing, share your story, similar story. You know? So we take pride in knowing that even through some of the mess, ugly, the good and the bad, that some days we may have just had that one impact. That one impact. Okay? Wow. I've been on here a minute, guys. But I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna go ahead and get up here because I'm gonna go see what Kobe needs, and I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all coming in today. I appreciate y'all the support. I love you, my justice. No problem, Fee. I love you guys as well. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the support. I appreciate, like I said, quality over quantity. It beats every day, everything. Thank you, Tilo, for the flowers. Thank you, Emma Nicole. So you guys, let's go. Let's keep doing what we're doing. We're better. We're getting better, and we're definitely going to be our best. So y'all have a great one. Thank you for the heart, Chris Assey, for the finger heart. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate y'all support. Thank you for the bone. Thank you guys for the treat. Kobe, they sent you a treat. Thank you, y'all. I appreciate you guys. Great live. Thank you, Tips World. Couldn't do it without you guys. Every time, like Gamma say, not it's not only the content creator that makes a live. We need you guys to help us with these lives. Your input, whether we agree or disagree, your input, your engagement is what makes a live alive, y'all. Leading some late, so you guys made the live. Thank y'all, Amber and Nicole. Y'all catch out these content creators. We got Gamma, Saretness, Amber and Nicole, Dimple J. We got a lot of content creators. Y'all follow them up, catch them up, and thank everybody. Let me go catch my puppy, y'all. Thank you, Tilo, for that gold coin. And we got Angel Mom out here, y'all. So we got a host of great content creators, y'all. We got Free Real Reaction. We got Angel Mom. We got Amber Nicole. We got Saretness. We got It's Gamma's World. We got Dimple J. I'm trying to make sure. Tips, I don't know if you have y'all, let me go for this dog about to have the people come at me. I have to go back and listen to the beginning. This was a great topic. Thank you, Amber Nicole. So y'all have a great one. Be blessed, be awesome, be the change you want to see in the world. Beautifully healed. What's up? I didn't know she was in the house, but y'all catch up. Beautifully healed as well. Um, I'm gonna get up here because Kobe about to have the people come at me, y'all. And so I'm gonna go ahead and get him. Y'all, Kobe is going to get neutered on Tuesday. So I won't have no more hot tail dogs running around my house getting my dog all upset. So let me get to my boy. I'll see y'all later. Thank y'all so much. Be blessed, be awesome, be the change you want to see in the world. And I'm out of here. Why? Because I'm gone. See y'all later.